Ever stop to think about what's actually happening when you fill up your car? You're tapping into this incredible story that involves ancient history, some seriously massive engineering, and really complex chemistry. So let's dive right into this amazing journey, from the bottom of the ocean all the way to your engine.
Just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, get this. Every single second, humanity burns over 100,000 liters of gasoline. That is a truly staggering amount of energy that, well, powers our world.
We all know that final step, right? The pump. But the clear liquid that comes out is a world away from where it all began. So, what is the secret process that turns a thick, black sludge into the high performance fuel we pretty much rely on every single day?
Our story starts deep, deep beneath the Earth's surface, and millions of years in the past. It's basically a hunt for buried treasure, where the prize is this dark, pretty foul-smelling liquid that holds the energy of an ancient world.
You might think the energy in your tank comes from dinosaurs, but the real story actually starts with these tiny marine organisms. When they died, they sank to the seabed and got buried. Over millions of years, the immense pressure and heat basically cooked their remains into the energy-rich goo we now call petroleum. Okay, but this treasure is hidden miles underground. So to find it, geologists use this technique called seismic surveying. They send powerful sound waves deep into the earth, and then they listen to the echoes that bounce back, creating a kind of map of potential oil reserves. It's like a giant sonar. But here's the thing. Even with promising data, there are absolutely no guarantees. To really appreciate just how difficult extraction is, I want you to imagine trying to suck water from a swimming pool that's 8,000 meters deep, using only a tiny little straw. That is the kind of engineering challenge we're talking about when drilling for oil, whether it's in the middle of a desert or on a floating platform in the sea. So after all that effort, the crude oil that gets pumped out of the ground is still completely useless for your car. Seriously, it's a thick, smelly, messy mixture of thousands of different compounds. It has to be completely transformed into the clean, stable, and powerful gasoline that comes out of the pump. And that transformation, well, that's where the real magic happens. This raw sludge is then sent to an oil refinery, and these things are massive industrial complexes, sometimes the size of a small city. This is where it's turned into liquid gold, through what is basically a symphony of heat, pressure, and chemistry. Inside the refinery, the whole transformation happens in three key steps. First up is distillation. The crude oil is heated in a massive tower, which causes its components to separate. The lighter parts, the stuff for gasoline, rise to the top, while heavier ones, like asphalt, sink. Next comes cracking. Here, a catalyst acts like a pair of molecular scissors, literally cutting long, heavy molecules into the smaller, more valuable ones we need. And finally, there's reforming. This step rearranges those newly cut molecules, creating the perfect structure for clean, efficient combustion. That second step, cracking, is just so incredibly important. Without it, you'd get very little gasoline from a barrel of oil. But thanks to this process, refineries can efficiently squeeze about 72 liters of high-quality gasoline from a single barrel of crude. And that third step, reforming, that's what gives us the octane number you see at the pump. That number is just a measure of the fuel's stability. A higher octane rating means the fuel can withstand more compression before it ignites, which prevents that damaging engine knock and lets your car run smoothly and efficiently. But we're not quite done. The gasoline produced so far is pure, but it's not yet perfect for a modern engine. The final step is to add a special cocktail of ingredients that protect your engine and boost its performance. Think of these as vitamins for your car. Detergents are added to keep the engine clean from nasty deposits. Protectors form a shield over vital components to prevent wear and tear. And anti-knock agents, well, they provide an extra layer of stability, ensuring the fuel burns exactly when it's supposed to for maximum power and smoothness. Before a single drop leaves that refinery, it goes through some intense scrutiny. Teams of technicians are constantly testing samples in a lab. They are the guardians of quality, checking everything from viscosity and purity to that all-important octane rating.
making sure every batch meets the highest safety and performance standards. Okay, so once the fuel is perfected, it begins its final journey through this massive global logistics network of pipelines, ships, and trucks. But this network is also tied to a really complex economic web that determines the price you pay every time you fill up.
The price you see on that sign isn't random at all. It's the result of a massive, constantly shifting global chess game involving supply, demand, and geopolitics.
And as you can see, there are so many forces at play: global demand, disruptions in supply from oil-producing nations, political events, and even the long-term shift towards electric vehicles. They all influence the price. Every time you fill your tank, you're not just a consumer, you're a small but essential piece in one of the biggest economic puzzles in the world.
And that brings us to the final, critical question. We've seen the incredible journey gasoline takes to power our world. But as technology changes and the energy transition speeds up, for how much longer will this process remain at the center of our lives? What do you think the future of mobility looks like?